sound like your dad. Yeah. Don't let the doorknob hit you. Well, my damn dog should have bit you. Thank you very much, man. I love you, man.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's the holiday spirit time. I even decorated. Yeah, it took forever, but everyone's been decorating their record rooms, and I haven't. I never have, but there it is. That's official decoration, so perfect. Hey, happy holidays to everybody, no matter what you celebrate. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate, it's still have a happy week, but it's that special time of year. So last weekend, if you saw the video, you saw I got together with the family. We went to Chicago. We had a real good time. That was a Christmas present. Everyone converged in. You know, my oldest son Paul's from DC. My youngest son Eric, he's from out in Denver. So Chicago is where it was at. And you know, we stayed down next to Grant Park, which is like Chicago's, you know, Central Park or whatever. And a block away, actually, the hotel took up a whole block, and then next door, the very next block, the very first building, was Buddy Guy's, the Legend Bar. So, on Saturday night, we went out to a comedy club, and we got back, it's 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I'm wiped out. Eric, my youngest goes, well, Dad, did you want to go over there? I go, God, I'm really tired. I don't know. And he goes, well, I'm tired too, so it doesn't matter. I go, but geez, it's Buddy Guy's bar. That would be kind of neat. He goes, just $20. I go, oh, wow, $20? Really? I'm just going to go in. I want to buy some drinks, and I got to pay $20 to get in. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of cheap that way. Unless it's coming to buy a record album, $100. Oh, okay. So I go, well, maybe not. He goes, well, that's okay. We don't need to go. And they go, well, but obviously I had a lot of indecision going on here. I go, you know, if I were to ever get out in the vinyl community, that I was right next to Buddy Guy's bar, and I never went in. I mean, they would kick me out. I'd be excommunicated from the vinyl community. So let's do it. So Eric and his fiance Kim and myself, we went next door to the Legends, Buddy Guy's bar. And you know, we walk in and we're waiting to get in. There wasn't really much of a line there or anything. There's a couple people in front of us. And also on the stage, you know, there's music going on. This guy just yells. I mean, it just scared the bejesus out of us. We all just jumped. It was so loud. Well, we pay, and you know, it's not a huge place. And I'm looking up, and the guy singing up there. God, look at that! They got an old guy up there singing. Oh, it must be an old blues guy. And I'm listening, and go, God, that voice really sounds familiar. Get a little closer. That guy really looks like Buddy Guy. Now, I'd read and been told Buddy Guy once in a while will go there to perform. And guess what? There he was. He was up there singing and performing, and we came in at the end of the set, so it wasn't like I sat through a whole Buddy Guy set, and he might not have even had a whole set, I don't know, but he was singing. Gets done, walks over by the merchandise stand, and I'm right in that area. So I guess it's time to get myself my Christmas present. So that's what I did. I went over there, and we got this album here this is from, he did 2018. And we have the nice Buddy Guy 2019 autograph on there. Is that not fun? This guy, I will say, you know, he was happy, he was friendly, talked with the people. He was really enjoying life. So took care of, got that. I thought, well, jeepers creepers, you know, here we are. Better get. I said, give me that album too. And this one's from 2012. And this is kind of a live at Legends, which is from his bar. So we did that, and You know, it has a nice little insert. Well, not much there. So I picked up those 2 albums, T-shirt, got a poster. See, which, you know, he signed my poster and he signed everything for me. And, very, very, very nice. You know, of course, and I was lucky. Again, I was, you know, there's one person in front of me, so it was. Talk about amazing. It really, really was. I mean, what's the chance of walking in and there is one of the last great blues legends, and he really is. You know, he started in Chicago, you know, in the late 50s, early 60s, more as a session player, then got with Little Walter on harmonica, and him and Little Walter became famous. But you know, really there was a resurgence in the 80s and early 90s, and Buddy Guy was noticed and took off and became, he is the blues statesman. I mean, the last of the great bluesmen. So you know, it was a phenomenal experience. I wish I'd heard more of his music. My snippets at the beginning are absolutely horrendous, but you know, but do they really want you videoing? So I tried to get them quick and fast. Thought, hey, make a good intro. But really, Merry Christmas to me. I wish I'd bought his book. So that was nice. That really, besides being with my family, which meant everything to me, this was the greatest thing that happened. You know, we did go see Hamilton. That was very, very nice. I hadn't seen that and I've wanted to. I bought that Hamilton soundtrack when it came out because I just love that music. I'll probably never see it, but you know what? You can still enjoy the music because it was great stuff. And so that is how Buddy the Elf, son of a nutcracker, met Buddy the Guy. And in the background today we have the soundtrack to Buddy the Elf to celebrate that. Yes. Christmas sweater Christmas. And last week I did pick up the most votes, so my youngest son Eric came pretty close and Paul got one. Speaking, you know, showing of CDs and Christmas, my most favorite DJ in the whole wide world, DJ Trish, sent me her Christmas mix. And it's been wonderful. I've been enjoying this very, very much. And you know, I don't know where she comes up. We got Nasa Bossa Nova, Oh Holy Night. I don't know, DJ Trish, she just comes up with the craziest things. Steel drum band doing Santa Baby. We got the Dixie Cups doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers. There's the Mills Brothers, the Dap Kings, Brian Seltzer, Brian Lee and the Dragonaires doing Old Lang Syne. Really, it's just very amazing things. And she gave me a nice Christmas card, but Trish, we already have that put up with the other Christmas cards. So this was a very unexpected surprise and really meant a lot to me, and been adding Christmas cheer to everything. So thank you so much for that, DJ Trish. I really enjoy your friendship and appreciate what you do with the vinyl community. So let's get on to some records, and the first couple actually were some VCLT that I received, I've played, I've listened, and really enjoyed. Bill from the Vinylverse, a man who has his own sticker. How do you get your own sticker? I should have a sticker. I don't. What would I put on a sticker? I don't picture a cat maybe. I don't know what I would put on a sticker. Bill has a sticker. It looks pretty cool. But Bill sent me the first one. He sent me 2 albums. Gentle Giant, and this is Octopus. And this is Gentle Giant's second album. And it is on Columbia. So there's a little story behind this. Bill's heavy into prog. I don't know a lot about prog. And so, you know, it's not, it's you know, I have Yes, I have Alan Parsons Project, you know, Prog 101. And so he's been picking up Gentle Giant, and every time I said, you know, I see Gentle Giant out there, Bill, but I never pick it up. One of these days, I'm going to buy Gentle Giant. And I've been telling that to Bill for a year and a half. One of these days, I'm going to pick up some Gentle Giant. It's, well, Bill just, well, he took it upon himself to say, well, damn it, I'm going to give you some Gentle Giant. And he did. And there's no zero about this group. But wow, I really enjoyed it. You know, Gentle Giant, they came out of England. They were formed in 1970, and they broke up in 1980 as this English prog rock band. But their music is considered to be extremely complex, even by prog standards. And I think that's what I liked about it, because you know, there's like, you know, folk and soul music in there, jazz and classical. But a lot of times prog, you know, relies upon the romantic classical period. But these guys look back into Baroque, they look into medieval, they look into modernistic classical as they make their music. So it gives them just this deeper feel and thus more complex. It started with 3 brothers. It was, let's see, Phil, Derek, and Ray Schulman, I believe. They started this up, and when they originally began, they called themselves the Howling Wolves. Then they changed their name to the Roadrunners. Then decided Simon Dupree and the Big Sound sounded good, and eventually we came up with Gentle Giant. And this album, this is their second album, came out in 1972. It's 8 tracks, and each of the 8 tracks, each track was for one member of the band, kind of to symbolize them, to be a part of them. Not knowing what to expect, I really liked it a lot. I just thought, man, this is good. I was absolutely surprised, and I absolutely buy more Gentle Giants. So, Bill, you could not have got this better. Prior to the Cosmic Vinyl just showed this, and go, wow, that looks like a jar. It really, I mean, it looks like, I thought, that's kind of a cool album cover. And there it was. Now I have that cool album cover. Very neat. He also sent me this one. And Henryk Górecki, and he's a Polish contemporary classical producer from 1933, and he passed away in 2010. This is his most famous work, and it's a Symphony of Sorrowful Songs. And on this one, he has Beth Gibbons from Port's Head. She does the singing. She's a soprano, because not only is this is made for a solo soprano type person. The symphony here, it was made to commemorate those that were lost within the Holocaust, and so it's in 3 movements. The first movement, it's basically a 15th century lament about the Virgin Mary. The second movement was it's built around a message that was found in on the wall of a Gestapo's place. And the third movement is about a mother trying to find her son after the Holocaust. This is haunting, shall we say. The voice of Beth Gibbons, it's like an instrument in there, which a voice is, but it's not so much the words, because I don't know Polish or whatever she's saying, but the way the voice is, it adds that eeriness to the whole movement and the whole piece. Absolutely, incredibly haunting, very fascinating. This was really, really neat. And there we go, first one. You can pick that up, and there's your download for this, so please feel free to take a look at that. We have this nice insert here. This, I love classical music. I don't buy tons of it because there's only so much capital each of us has. So if I buy classical, then I'm going to pass up something else, and so I always looking to see what do I want the most. But this was really, really incredible. So thank you very much, Bill. Truly enjoyed that. My son Paul, his girlfriend's Michelle, she went on a trip down to New Orleans, and she went to a bar and heard Rebirth Brass Band, and she picked this up for me. Isn't that nice? Isn't that great? I have very, very little New Orleans jazz, and there's the label. It's green on that side. It's kind of neat, and the label is Basin Street. I have extremely little of this. I just finished up a book. I was going to show that. Chris, Blue Sky Vinyl, sent me on Louisiana music, and went through all the genres and talked obviously a lot about the brass bands. And in the Rebirth Brass Band, they started in 1983 and they're still playing to this day. And it was two brothers, Philip and Keith Frazier, that started it, along with classmates from the high school marching band. That's how they started in 1983. Well, they've won Grammys for their music. It's really traditional New Orleans brass music, but then they also add in some funk, some jazz, some soul, some hip hop. They're trying to update it because they were the young ones coming through. A New Orleans brass band, you have a bass drum, then you also have a snare drum that has a cymbal. They have two trombones, a tenor sax, two trumpets, and then a vocalist. This thing, it's party on a platter, folks. Yes, sirree. You want to have some excitement, want to have fun. Rebirth Jazz Band is where it's at. And they still play every night. Not every night, but on Tuesday nights you can find them. I believe it's called the Maple Leaf Bar. And Michelle, maybe that's where you went to pick this up. I don't know. But she went, she heard them, and she picked up this album for me and truly enjoyed it. Some great New Orleans jazz. Fun stuff. This album came out in 2014. Okay, let's move on here. I got this from Coal Mine Records, and it is, there we go, Grant Green's Sunday Morning. Isn't that nice? And it came in on blue note vinyl. That's really neat. And there is and they did even a replica of the blue note insert, which, you know, Coal Mine Records does incredible stuff, and this is just another great thing, and that won't go in. You know, they send this postcard. It's not a download, but that's really kind of neat. The dog there, and the dog's name is Ted. Whenever you go into Coal Mine, Ted is there, and Ted comes around. Ted likes to be pet. He likes it a lot. Just a very, very nice and friendly dog. So, Merry Christmas, Ted, if you're watching. So this here is Grant Green's 4th album. Grant Green, born in 1933, passed away in 79. He came from St. Louis. He is hard bop, did bebop, and did soul jazz. He's probably considered one of the most underrated jazz guitarists around, but he's been given his due now in time. He was influenced. His guitar influence was from Charlie Parker from the saxophone, but he loved the way he played the sax, and that's how he tried to play his guitar. Lou Donaldson found him in a bar, I believe it was in St. Louis, just playing, and so he took him to New York and introduced him to Blue Note Records. They were so blown away by his playing that they wanted him to front a band. This was in 1959. So they tried to have him record his very first album, but the man had no confidence. It just didn't work out. Well, then he began to record, and this was his 3rd album, well, actually his 4th album, but the 4th time that this, the first time, wow, am I not talking well at all today? This thing's a disaster. It's like a train wreck, a Christmas train wreck, man. Polar Express, kaboom. But this was the first time he played with a quartet and played with a piano. He played guitar, Kenny Drews on piano, Ben Tucker bass, and Ben Dixon on drums. It's his gospel record. He does God Bless the Child from Bessie Smith, Freedom March, Sunday Morning, Exodus, Come Sunrise. And what was really fascinating, he did Miles Davis, So What? He did that on guitar. And, you know, you don't hear a lot of people necessarily playing that. Or maybe they do, and I just don't own their albums. I don't know. But this was great. A great reissue from Coal Mine Records. Really nice to have. Sunday Morning from Grant Green. My final one, and I'm going to give this a shout out as a Christmas present, showing like a Christmas present to Tootin Van Man out of the UK. He's like the world's biggest Byrds fan. I've never shown a Byrds album. Never have. I really have almost no Byrds in vinyl. I have them in CD, just not in vinyl. They used to be a dime a dozen. Now you can't find this stuff, and if you do, it's in terrible shape. But, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Bought this from Bill from Michigan Record Club. He bought a whole bunch of stuff, and I went over and I purchased this one from him. There we go. Look at that. It's a Byrds album. This is their 6th studio album from a group, and this came out in 1968. So, by the time they did this one, there's only McGuinn and Hillman. That was it. No one else was left. And so, McGuinn, what he wanted to do, he wanted to make a 2 LP set. And on it, he wanted to be about American popular music. So it's going to start with country. Then it was going to go into rock and end in futuristic Moog electronics. That was McGuinn's plan. Well, Graham Parsons had joined in. Graham Parsons said, hey, I think that's a great idea as long as we stop at country. And that's what they did. And there's only 2 original songs on here, and both of them were co-wrote by Graham Parsons, obviously heavily influenced in country. So when this came out, and it just kind of sank like a rock on Columbia there. I mean, if you're a Byrds fan and that's what you've been, listening to all that great Byrds music, and all of a sudden you get this and go, what is that about? That's redneck music, man. And that's what they thought was redneck music, and it just didn't do well. Well, since then, obviously, it's become a classic, one of the classics of their catalog. It's influenced everyone from the Eagles all the way up to Wilco. That's how important of an album it is. And I've had it on CD, but there it was. This was in great shape, and I thought, why not? I'll get it on vinyl. Tootin', I don't know, it's a Byrds. I have a Byrds on vinyl. I got one or two others, but they are in such bad shape. I bought them so long ago, so that was fun to have. All right, there we go, everybody. That is this week's wrap up. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the sound samples that I played for you. Grant Green, anything from Blue Note you can't play again, but I'm going to be home for a week and a half. My boss called me and said, I don't want you traveling, not till after the 1st. And I told her, I says, you seriously want me to get divorced? Is that it? You're going to expect me to be home that long? I mean, that's about 2 weeks stay at home. Wow. But we will have another installment of my top 100. We'll do 20 down to 11 and a couple contest entries. So I'm going to be busy. I have all kinds of music to listen to. I've been so busy the month of December, I haven't even listened to most of my Black Friday stuff. So that's how bad it's been for me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Wishing you all a very, very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Whatever you do in Iceland, I don't know, but I hope it's happy. Thank you, everyone, for really tuning in, and appreciate all your support this past year. Also, I got to do a top 2019 thing. I don't know what the hell that's going to be about. Thanks, everyone. Bye.